everyone, my name is Catherine Bray, and I have a small company called Equine Affinity. We offer self-development work, either personal sort of therapeutic work or professional sort of leadership work through connecting with horses, hence why I'm sitting in the field with these lovelies right now. I am based down in East Sussex, which is on the southeast coast of the UK, but we also work in Kent and London, and Joe and I have even talked about working internationally a little bit together. So first of all, I just want to say thank you very much, Joe, for setting this up. I feel honoured to be part of this group and to be able to talk today. Thank you. And I've enjoyed the few talks I've heard so far. I particularly related to Gerdy's talk in the sense of being up in the mountains and connecting to nature, and that being a way through finding connection to the self just by being in a beautiful place. And essentially that's what we do, being in nature, but we work with horses. So I'm going to start with a few images that I want to show you. I pre-recorded this partly because I'm going out later on this afternoon when I'm scheduled to record, and so Joe said I could pre-record it, so I'm doing it this morning, but I think you'll be watching this afternoon. So I just want to add some images also in. I thought I'd take the opportunity to add images as to what I feel has been going on. So it's just a little exercise actually for you to join in as well. I'm going to show you 4 different images, and I just want you to see what you experience or what you feel when you see these images. So here's the first one. Maybe jot down what you feel. The second one here. And here's the third image. And the fourth image. So a lot of the work that I do is discovering what we experience on the inside, whether it's a visceral experience or an emotional response, and the horses are brilliant at reflecting some of this back to us. And I just wanted to show you those images and to get you to really feel into, what your body was telling you as you saw those images. And those 4 images are kind of the basis for what I feel I would like to change, and how the horses might be able to help. So the first image is of a herd of horses, and it's basically, I've noticed during this pandemic, that a real sense of community, both worldwide and locally, has developed. I've been closer to my neighbours and gotten to know them because we've had time, and I've really appreciated that. It's about strength in numbers, which is the way that horses operate too. They operate that on a basic survival level, but humans need community as well. And and it's been wonderful watching the positive side of humanity and how we all help each other and connect, and where we fit in our community, and also where our boundaries are. And horses are brilliant at all of that. We watch and observe the herd. That's part of our work, and their social interactions and their hierarchies, and we feel into where our role is in society, with our families, in the workplace, or with our best friends, and with our animals indeed. So that really struck me, and I want to continue to see and witness more of the positive side of humanity and togetherness, and how we can all help each other, and not be in such a hurry. Second image. This image It's to do with leadership, and a lot of what Gertie said in her video really resonated with me in the work that I do. Leadership, when we're in this really tricky situation, leadership, we've all kind of been quite, well, some of us have been fear-driven. We've been told that this virus is very dangerous, we have to stay inside, and no one really knows where it's going to go next and what it's going to do. And then we get given these guidelines by our leaders, our governments, and then it can change all the time. And I think it's really interesting to look at how different leaders around the world have dealt with it, and what kind of trust people have been feeling with that. You've got to feel that you can believe and trust and therefore follow your leaders. And if the boundaries aren't clear and you don't feel safe, people respond and react in different ways. And it's exactly the same with horses. If you're not clear in what you're trying to ask them to do or take them to a place, they pick up on a doubt, and they might try and take control, or they might try and leave. And it's really, really useful to work alongside a horse when you're trying to discover leadership. And that doesn't mean dominating. It can be partnership, collaboration, or being led. What's it like to be led? And we look at all that in our workshops. But change that I would like to see is really kind of having observed and almost being dependent on our bigger leaders, our governments, and noticing what that's done for me personally inside when I felt mistrust at times. And then the repercussions of that, which have been that, well, I'll just sort of take control and use my own common sense. And I think that people need to be able to really find their own style of leadership and take control of their own lives to feel secure and safe in a world that is so uncertain at the moment. So those are the changes I'd wish for people, and the clarity needed also for animals and to relate to these wonderful beings. The third image is around pressure, and how the lockdown and this whole pandemic has evolved, I feel, has created pressure. So if you put a horse, a wild or a scared horse, in a small space, the results are often quite dramatic and dangerous. You can't contain half a ton of sort of semi-wild animal. And it's almost the same for us humans. We've been locked in and fed lots of fearful messages, and inevitably cracks will start to appear in that pressure tank and people will start to break out, as I believe is definitely what's been contributing to the situation in America at the moment. So I think really there's a lot to learn about how we can, in those situations, turn the fear around, come back to our own trust, self-trust, our own leadership, and take control of ourselves, and how we can move through that pressure even if we are contained. I'm thinking along the lines of there's lots of movement you can do. I'm thinking Qigong kind of movements, or meditation, however it works for each person as an individual. I like personally walking in nature. I like being around animals if I have the opportunity. I do a lot of wild swimming, but however it is, to kind of release that pressure that we've all been experiencing on a level, and a pressure that's been fed by fear. How can we work with that, turn it around in something that's not so fearful, take control, and then move through it? Horses, when they respond to fear, they'll have an initial sort of panic, a shoot, a run away, and then they'll turn and they'll assess the situation. I've seen other horses, they have a great mechanism for self-care. They roll to release any negative stress sometimes. They shake, they just shake it off. Arthur just shook as I said that. It's funny, although I don't think he's particularly stressed right now. He's scoffing his face, but he was just shaking off some flies as I said that. And yeah, and also just having those techniques in place. So by, again, working alongside horses, we can study their techniques and think about our own self-care techniques that might help us respond more positively and productively to pressure. And the final image, because I've realised I've waffled on for over 10 minutes now, is just simply about nature. I felt that the planet had a beautiful opportunity to pause and regrow and rewild in a way. And I am feeling very frustrated and resistant to us all just going back to how we were, polluting the environment. All of these environmental factors that are absolutely crucial, and that we have seen quite a dramatic change during lockdown on what the planet has told us. Everyone and everything and every living plant needed to pause here, and I think there needs to be some respect for that and more of an acknowledgement for it moving forward. This is much more of a personal thing. How the horses can help with that are they really root us to nature, they connect us to nature, and the way that we work is allowing them just to be themselves and observing them and seeing what can be reflected back. But I like to incorporate nature and all of this stunning beauty that's around us into that as well. Thank you very much if you're still listening. Sorry I've gone over, Joe, and I look forward to hearing some more. If you are interested, we're running one-to-one sessions now, a course called Be With Your Horse, and you don't have to have your own horse. You can come along and join us, and I can talk you through some very simple exercises where you can connect to yourself and the horse. So anyone that's based in East Sussex or this area or Kent and would like to come along, please get in touch. My website's here at the bottom. Look forward to hearing from you and hearing more of your talks. Thank you very much. Take care.